Hi guys, welcome back to Rebuilding Fulham, episode 30. We've hit the big 3-0, which isn't really much of a milestone. Come back when we're at 100, except this series isn't going to get to that point because obviously Football Manager 15 is around the corner. But if you have been enjoying it and want to see lots more content like this in Football Manager 15, be sure to leave a like on the video. It means a lot. Thank you very much. Now, something I forgot to say in the last episode was that I got offered the QPR job over the summer. Harry Redknapp retired, so I was offered the QPR job, and naturally I told him to shove it up the bollocks. But that's the first time I've actually been offered a job at another team in this game. There's all kinds of jobs been going. You'd think with me finishing second in the Premier League, that would have some effect on it. Also, I came third in Manager of the Season, because naturally that makes sense. Gary Bowyer of Newcastle United came ahead of me. You know, I got Fulham just second in the Premier League, and Gary Bowyer of Newcastle United, who didn't win a trophy, as far as I remember, and finished fourth or fifth in the league. They finished above. He got a better. Yeah, he's worth more than I am apparently. So that's FM sort that shit out. It's really annoying. And obviously, Chelsea manager won Manager of the Season because if you win the league, you win Manager of the Year, no matter what else happens. Like Huddersfield will come up this year. If they came second this year, whoever won the league would still win Manager of the Season, no matter what happened, even if Huddersfield ran them to the final day. It's just one of those things. So there is that as well. Also, the European club rankings, we came second in the Premier League, and yet our stature didn't go anywhere. Yet Wolves, who have just been promoted to the Premier League, their stature is now better than ours. How? How does that work? We came second in the Premier League, and Wolves now, having just been promoted, have now got a better club stature and moved above us in the rankings. Sort that shit out. Hopefully a good season in the Champions League will have some effect on that, and I'm going to go straight into the Champions League talk, because we have had our group drawn, and as you can see, we got Barcelona, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Celtic. Now, this could be a lot worse. When you look at some of the groups, in fact, I'm going to show you some of the groups. We will talk about the fixtures, of course, in a moment. Let's just go to group stage, all groups. So, that one, Dortmund, Lyon, Basel, I wouldn't mind being in that one. Juventus, Porto, Man United. I don't think we could have been in that. Are teams in the same country allowed to be drawn in the same group together? I don't think they are they? So we couldn't have been in that one anyway. Chelsea, Schalke, Sporting Lisbon. We couldn't have been in that one. Real Madrid, Zenit, Ajax, Galatasaray. I'd have probably taken that one. I'd have fancied my chances against Ajax since we've already beat them in pre-season, and Zenit. Real Madrid, yeah, no chance, but second place in the group potentially. Atletico, Inter, CSKA, and Mainz. That would have been quite a tough one with Inter and Atletico. FC Bayern, PSG, I would not have wanted that group. That would have been the group of death. Bayern, PSG, and Roma. I feel very, very sorry for PAOK. Arsenal, Benfica, Anderlecht, and Red Bull Salzburg. We couldn't have been in that one. So we ended up with Barcelona, Shakhtar, Celtic. Now, okay, Barcelona is going to be a massive test, and we've got them at Craven Cottage very, very soon. But aside from the games against Barca, I think we could maybe do something against the likes of Shakhtar and Celtic. I don't think we're going to finish bottom of this group. I think we could sneak through in second spot. Admittedly, it's going to give us an absolutely murderous tie in the next round against God knows who. But just to get out of the group stage, we're only expected to get into the group stage, which we did, just by virtue of turning up, so that was good. Interestingly, my board's expectations this season, obviously you're expected to get into the Champions League again, because I did that to get more money, because I feel that we're good enough for the top four now. FA Cup, 5th round still. League Cup, 4th round still. We come into the League Cup at the 3rd round now because we're playing in Europe, so we only have to win one game to get through to that and do the objective. Unfortunately, as luck would have it, we got that game drawn against Manchester United. So, yeah. But then again, I think we're capable of beating them at home, so maybe things won't go quite so bad. Oh, there it is. So we've got them in the league as well. Anyway, we've got Barcelona in our first Champions League game. Then we have Shakhtar away, Celtic, and hopefully by the time we come to that last game against Barca, which has actually weirdly been moved above the Shakhtar game. That's strange. Interesting. Okay, well that isn't it normally first game is the last game? Odd. That's annoying. Hopefully we don't go into that Shakhtar game having to win, but at least it's a home game if we do. So you never know. And Barcelona will be playing Celtic, so hopefully that will be our little ticket. Right, so we started off the season, and I think, what game am I going to show you in this episode? I think, let's show you the opening day of the season game. Why not? Nothing wrong with showing you that. We've started as we mean to continue, and you will see all about that in a minute. So I'll see you guys in the highlights. Right then, here we are, and this was another one of those games that we had a few times last season, and I need to figure out a way to stop this from happening. But I've got to say that Vilhena on his debut, Trindade Vilhena, de Vilhena, is there a shortened way of saying his name? What do people call him? If you know anything about Dutch football, let me know. Brilliant goal from Costas Fortounis. This guy was he was voted player of the year last year, I should say. I thought he might be, even though he played a lot less games due to his injury. Still voted player of the year, so great on him for that. Then on 37 minutes, it was sort of, we were 1-0 up, but we were definitely dominating. They'd had a couple of clear-cut chances, though, and I was a little bit worried. Petroglu does some great work there, spins it out to the wing to Yulsgaard, who just drops it in perfectly to catch Niklic, who then finds a beautiful pass back to Trippier and cleared away. Now, I thought that was actually going to be the chance, because sometimes those get counted. No, not to be happening. Tunnicliffe with some lovely little movement here, and then just... we're so good at that stuff. Ball in, Mitroglou, bang. Looks like Alcacer's going to have to do some serious work to try and dislodge Mitroglou from this team. He looks great this year, yet again. I think he could maybe even better his tally from last year if he's really consistent and stays fit. Then, just after half-time now, he's 2-0 up, you're thinking, yep, okay, comfy times. Don't screw this up. Yulsgaard spawns in the midfield. Tunnicliffe drops it perfectly into catch Niklic, who just starts on trotting down that wing, and it's a great ball in. Should have really scored there, but hey, I'm not going to knock it. Vilhena didn't score, but Fortounis did, and that is his second of the season already in the first game. He just seems to have this goal-scoring knack at appearing at the far post. So 3-0 up, 53 minutes gone. I'm thinking comfortable. Zuccolini into Tunnicliffe, who's made some great passes this season. He's very, very good at passing. His pass completion is actually must be quite decent, because every time I see a highlight, he never loses the ball. It's good, which is quite a contrast to last season. We did lose out the ball here, though. Thankfully, we were able to win it back as Zuccolini wins it and plays it straight through to catch a Niklic, who does pretty much what he did for the third goal, just whip a long ball in, but this time Vilhena just sort of, I think that goes in off his balls. Doesn't matter how they go in the net, as long as if you hand Thierry Henry. 4-0 up. Comfortable. Unfortunately, what often happens in these games when we get 4-0 up is we just seem to take our foot off, and I'm not changing anything, but they just seem to get tired. I make the substitutions, Sombalonga comes on and bang. I think once we get 4, we should maybe go to a slightly more defensive strategy to try and stop this from happening. I just don't like doing that when we're so far ahead in games, but I also hate seeing lead slips. So what I might do is, if we're like a goal up and there's only 10 minutes to go, then I will switch and just sit out, because sometimes we've conceded late on with me thinking that we're just dominating the game, so there's no way they're going to score. Well, they have done. So I think if we're going to be in a position like that, and maybe even like 70 minutes do it if we're away at a really tough opponent, because unfortunately all this sort of crap allowed Forest to get 2 goals back, which they really did not deserve. They got 2 clear-cut chances, and I think those were pretty much their goals. But Bangura, I thought Stekelenburg maybe could have done better there, but one of those things. They had quite a few shots, so fair play to them on that one. And we managed to beat them 4-2, and they're nearly promoted, and it's better than the 7-0 thumping we gave them when we met them in the playoffs. Now, our next game wasn't quite like that. Although the scoreline was the same, it was more of a domination. This was a bit more of a hammering. They had 12 shots, but only 1 on target. We managed 26 shots this time, 9 of which were on target. Martin Odegaard gave us the lead with a great finish early on, assisted by Ryan Tunnicliffe, I think. Yulsgaard's penalty then made it 2-0, and I was pretty comfortable. Then James Morrison got a cheeky one back for them before half-time with their first shot of the game. Thankfully, Zuccolini was able to extend our lead, but then Jordan Rhodes immediately put them back in it, and I was thinking, why are they still involved in this game? Thankfully, Paddy Roberts came on as a late sub. He is now at the club. He's not going out on loan this year. I think he could be decent cover, and we've also got Emerson Heinemann, the young American, who can play cover in that ball-winning midfield role too. So those two are going to be staying at the club this year and not going out on loan. They've been out on loan for most of the last 3 seasons. Although I think Roberts was here for some of our first season when we were in the Championship, because he did score a few goals for us. But I think we sent him out on loan in the second half of the season. Then we had Newcastle at home, and I think this is the most shots I've had since we started this save in one game. 31 shots in this game, 13 of which were on target. We had 9 clear-cut chances and only just scraped past Newcastle in the end. Fortunis, once again, opened the scoring for us, but Gianpaolo Pazzini was able to equalise for Newcastle. They did have a couple of chances, but we were so good. Kostas Mitroglou, again, lovely goal. Problem is, we got all those shots, and we just didn't score enough goals, and that is something that we need to work on it. And we got plenty of shots on target in this game as well. 9 clear-cut chances. We were just a bit unlucky, I think. But I definitely switched to a defensive tactic in that game just to avoid us conceding an annoying late goal. All of that leaves us second in the Premier League. Man City, after their horrific performance last season, have come flying out of the traps. They beat Huddersfield 7-0 on the opening day, and I do think Huddersfield are going to be the whipping boys of this league, but as you can see, they've actually already picked up a win. QPR are the only side that have yet to win a game, and I think that might be due to the fact that without Harry Redknapp in charge, who have they even got in charge? Who is the manager? Steve McLaren. Well, that explains a lot. Okay, so he did all right. He did very, very well at FC Twente, and at Middlesbrough, but his other manager, he's done alright at Derby at the moment, I think, but still. Probably, I don't rate him that highly. McLaza. Mitroglou is on the average rating league. He's also got 3 assists, so he should be on here too. But Fortunis is our top scorer, and the league's joint top scorer after 3 games, so that's great to see as well. 3 wins out of 3 for us, you can't really argue with that. And our next game is against Man United, so hopefully we could do alright. And look at that, we thumped Forest on the opening day, but they've won both their games since then. So it looked like they're actually going to give a little dent on this league. Forest, Wolves and Huddersfield were the teams that came up in the end. So, I don't know. It'll be hard to tell. Wolves look a bit weak. But remember, this is the Wolves that are, more reputable than we are. Bullshit. Anyway, moving on to the stats. And where is that lovely figure? Right. Appearances. It's International Week, I think. Or something. It must be International Week, yeah. Most appearances, obviously 3 for loads of people. Top goal scorer, Fortunis with 3, but Kostas Mitroglou has 2, and loads of people have 1. Most assists, Mitroglou has 3, and Yorsgård has 2. So Mitroglou is actually linking that play really, really well now. Most player of the matches, well, 1 each for the Kostases. That's not a big surprise there. Pass rating, well, Zuccolini 85, Ambrose 83. And where is Tunnicliffe? 80. He does need to work on that. I'm surprised his pass completion is so low, because I rarely ever see him lose the ball. Average rating, so far Mitroglou has been killing it. Worst average rating in games he's played is Effie Ambrose, surprisingly. Despite his banging performance last year, it just hasn't been happening for him so far this year. And that is pretty much that. I'll just show you the sort of team that we've been playing. So in the last game we lined up with Mitroglou, Odegaard on the left, Vilhena in the middle, and Fortunis on the right. Tunnicliffe and Zuccolini in the middle, though Mariga will probably play in place of Tunnicliffe soon. But Bertoli will play in there too when the chance comes. Trippier at right back, Ambrose, Burn, and Casasola has actually been rotating with some of these now, so that's good. Yorsgård, obviously at left back, and Stekelenburg in goal. Kacaniklic has been useful off the bench. Roberts and Plumain as well. Draga's done well off the bench. Alcasa hasn't actually come off the bench for us yet. Spiridonidis, I think, is going to be a decent centre-back for us now. He's really starting to come along quite nicely. Barloko, he's not got many games yet, but he's going to, and he's injured as well, which doesn't help. Emil Larsson, I think, might have to be moved on at the end of the season, because I don't think he's going to get that many games for us, and the same can be said for Sebastian Meyer now. But Fabio Bertoli, when he is fully fit, will be definitely getting some game time in there, because we need to make sure he moves on with himself and gets right in amongst things. So, we've got quite a few games coming up in September, so expect a fairly long episode. I see no reason why we shouldn't be showing you highlights of the Barcelona game. Even if we get thumped, you'll want to see that. That's the one you'll want to see. So in the next, we've got Man United and then Barcelona at home, then Arsenal away, Man United at home, Liverpool away, Shakhtar Donetsk away. That is a really, really... In fact, hang on, that's all the bloody games. Oh my god. So that's going to be the September to remember, or September from hell. Yeah, those are really, really tough games. There's some seriously tough games in there. I genuinely worry about what's going to happen to our morale if we have a bad run of games during that month. But you have to tune into the next episode to find out. If you like what you've seen, hit the like button. If you'd like to do even more than that, hit the subscribe button. And thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.